Hey everyone, my name is Tiara, for those of you who don't know me, and I am an Awareitarian. Now, you might be wondering exactly what an Awareitarian is, so I'm going to tell you. An Awareitarian is a nutritional and lifestyle strategy. It does purposefully sound similar to like pescatarian or vegetarian. And the reason why I came up with this concept is because, for several years, people would always ask me, and because I would fluctuate between being a vegan or being a raw foodist to being an omnivore or being a vegetarian. And so I never really subscribed to one particular category for any particular length of time. And people would always ask me, well, what are you? And I would say, well, I'm a Flexitarian. And I thought it was being kind of cute. And because I didn't want to box myself in, per se. And I think what was severely lacking for that was a simple awareness of how this nutritional strategy that I was using was actually affecting my body and how I was feeling for, the short and long term. So more recently, fast forward a few years to where I'm at now, and I've realized that I can't just have this flexitarian attitude and floating between all worlds without having a little bit of consciousness towards, how the food that I'm eating is affecting me on a daily basis. Because now that I'm 30, I've, in the last couple years or so, especially postpartum, I have an almost 3-year-old now, I've not been feeling great. I'm tired and having sleep and hormonal issues, and I'm like, I'm 30 years old. I'm way too young to have these problems. So I really started to examine how my diet was affecting me for the long term and how I could possibly improve my health now versus going to the doctor and having them prescribe me a bunch of drugs that are just in the long term give me way more problems. So I came up with this concept of being an Awareitarian because I think no matter what nutritional strategy you choose to go with, the most important part is just to have an awareness of how it's affecting you right now. Because it's easy to subscribe to someone else's nutritional strategy because they've, written a book about it and they've laid it all out for you. So all you have to do is, follow their recipes and check off their grocery shopping lists and it's done. But really, is it serving you? And that awareness is so key. So the 4 core values of being an Awareitarian are, number 1, obviously awareness. Number 2 is authenticity. Number 3 is adaptability. And number 4 is action. So like I was saying before, a simple awareness to how the food you're eating is affecting you, and awareness as to where your food is coming from, how it's prepared, all the way to an awareness regarding how well you're taking care of yourself. And that applies to more than just nutrition. How are you managing stress? How are you getting enough sleep? Are you aware of the words that you're saying and the people that you're surrounding yourself with? Because all of those things, face it, all of them affect our health. And that leads right into authenticity. So if you are leading your most authentic life, meaning you are stepping into your purpose and doing things that fulfill you, then you can make better choices. Face it, when we're happy, we make better choices. When we're depressed or stressed, or if we have anxiety, we tend to kind of numb ourselves with unhealthy habits, unhealthy diet habits, whether it's alcohol or, whatever it is that we're doing. A lot of times the things that we do when we're unhappy are just managing this, feeling inside of us that, we really could be handling in a healthier way. So that's where authenticity comes in. And also I think with that, you can make your nutritional strategy fun and a part of your personality and who you are. I mean, I think that food is a great expression of who you are. I mean, for example, if you want to be a bright and vibrant person, then I think consuming bright and vibrant foods could really help you to be that. For me, that's true. Fresh foods, raw foods, that should be a really good base for something like that. And whatever else you want to add in there that makes you feel good. It's very simple, but I think that's a really great strategy. So number 3 is adaptability. Now, like I said, I've definitely tried a lot of different things. I've tried veganism, I've tried being raw foodist, I've done, high carb raw, I've done ketogenic, I've done so many different things. And it's really easy to get locked in on one particular thing because it sounds so amazing, and maybe you saw really, really good results on whatever diet you try it, whether it's paleo or, whatever diet that you want to subscribe to. But I think the most important thing is, even if you've had a measure of success with that diet, whether you need to check in with yourself and see if it's still serving you. Because it's easy to attach ourselves to an idea and think that there is no other way, but there's constantly new information coming out, and especially when it comes to nutrition, we're constantly learning new things. Science is discovering new things, and also we're constantly changing in our lives. So depending on where we're at, whether you're a woman and you're pre-pregnancy, if you're trying to get pregnant, there's certain protocols that you can do to help your fertility. Or if you're pregnant, obviously, there are nutritionally certain things that you're going to need that are different. Or if you're postpartum, you're going to need different things for breastfeeding and recovering. And that's not just for women too. Men go through different phases of their lives too, and it has to do with stress, and it has to do with maybe your physical demands, if you're doing a job that's more sedentary or more active, or if you're wanting to build muscle, so whatever it is that you're doing in your life, one particular nutritional strategy may have worked a year ago, but maybe it's not going to work for you now. So it's always good to check in with yourself and be adaptable to making changes that will serve you currently. And then the 4th and final thing is action. So I think it's really important to constantly educate ourselves and be our own health advocates. But if we're educating ourselves and learning all this stuff, unless we actually take action on it, which I think is pretty obvious, it's not going to do any good. In fact, it'll do the completely opposite, because you'll have all this great information in your brain, and if you know that that's really what you need to be doing because it's healthy for you, but you're not doing it, then you have that level of guilt and kind of that disconnect, which can actually mentally make things a lot harder for you in the long run. So that's just kind of my idea, and I think anyone can be an Awareitarian. It's super simple, and what's great about it is it's completely unique to you, and you have to figure that out. Now, I would love to help you, and I'm wanting to post more videos because I think it's really important that we upgrade our decisions in our lives. And there are certain things that are non-negotiable, no matter what diet you subscribe to. Certain things like removing toxins from your home, removing toxins from your body, cutting out processed foods, adding in a lot of green foods, a lot of superfoods, herbs, things like that. Those are really non-negotiable, because in this world we have so much stress that we have to deal with. Our environment is so much more toxic than it used to be, and there are definitely specific strategies that you can use to kind of eliminate the things that you can control and detoxify the things that you can't. So I would like to share with you my journey and the things that I've discovered along the way. So I'll talk to you soon.